Flosstube, my name is Christine and I'd like to welcome you either back or to my channel if you're new here. And I am known as Stitching in the Burrow here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. Today is August the 4th, 2024. This is Flosstube number 27 for me. I think I've made it back in about 2 weeks, which is record for me right now. So I really tried hard to make sure that I could get back over here and see you all. But yeah, I've had some stitching time. I think a little bit more than I had before. So I must be adjusting to the job and the new puppies and all of that. Kind of getting in the groove of things. So I'm finding some time to stitch, or making time. Let's put it that way. So I've worked on a couple of my focus pieces. I've tried to work hard on some of those to try to catch up to where I'm supposed to be. I have a couple new starts and no finishes. Yeah, and some haul that's come in from, the clubs and stuff that I'm in. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to get started with a piece that I was supposed to show the last Flosstube, but I didn't. I had not brought it with me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And this is called Planets Align, and I started it in June, on June 9th. It was for categories that I was playing in June. It was the letter P, and it was favorite thing. So, I chose the planets as my favorite thing. And this is by Tilton Crafts. It's called Planets Align 5. So I just love the colors in this and just the way it's laid out. I think it's going to be a gorgeous piece when I get it done. So this is on, all of my stuff is usually on 18 count Aida, unless I tell you differently. So this is 18 count Aida, and it's just your basic white. And that's the little bit that I got started on this. So not too much, but yeah, it's going into my rotation. I was looking at my patterns and stuff and was thinking about whether or not I should do a whip parade. I think it's been, I want to say it's been a year maybe since I've done a whip parade. So I was thinking about doing it again. I know last time it took 4 or 5 videos in order to get everything in, because I didn't want one large, 3-hour video going on. So I may go ahead and do that just to see how many I truly have, and just to let you all see the pieces that I am still working on, especially if you've just caught my videos now. So the next one I'm working on is a focus piece. I was able to work on this one, and I just actually took it out of the hoop. That's why I have a needle here, so I know it's here. It stays there for me in between. I don't use needle minders. I probably should, but this is by Heaven and Earth Design. It is a focus piece, one of my 2 focus pieces for the year. And this is a quick stitch called Anne of Green Gables, artwork by Amy Stewart. And in this particular piece, I put about 700. I have 611 recorded, but I have another 121 that I did on this. So what is that, like 632 or so? 732, my bad. So that's about how many stitches I've put in since the last time you've seen it. And I was working in the area over here. I haven't even seen what it looks like myself since it came out of the hoop. So when I do see it, I'll be like, oh wow, look at that. So that will go back in the hoop when I'm done with my Flosstube, and I'll continue on to finish up. I have to do about 201 stitches a day, so I will at least put it back in the hoop to get to that point. Oh yeah, so there's that one. And then another piece that I was able to work on is also somewhat of a focus piece. I would like to get it completed this year if I could. I'm supposed to put in 6 little strands of floss a day. It doesn't always happen, but this is Anne of Green Gables, and this is a monochromatic piece that is done in the DMC 824. and I did make some progress on it. I think I was able to do it 2 days in a row. So I guess 12 little strands of floss, and working over here. So I was able to get more in there. It seems like, oh, you know, it's just a couple pages and it can get done. There's a lot of stitching in this. So a lot of stitching. I'm not sure if I'm going to go down and finish this side, or if I'm going to come across and just, you know, do page 1, 2, 3 across and then the last 3 on the bottom. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I guess however I feel the day that I get this page done and I decide the next direction to go. Let's see. You never know with me. The next one, this was for categories for the month of July, and it was patterns or things that begin with the letter Y, and it was a pattern beginning with the letter Y. That was the name of it. And so the only one that I do have is called Young Green Sea Turtle, and it's by Artisy. And it looks like this. I love working on this piece. But that solid blue is just, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I started this little fish right here. Here. I think there's some color in it. If you've noticed, it's right here where he's starting. So I worked over here in the blue, and then I started to come down to do that little fish. I'm really looking forward to continuing him, because you get him, her, whatever it is, the turtle, because of all of the just the way it's coming out, the detail in it. And I can't wait to get down here to this purpley pink area. I really want to see what that looks like when I start working on it. So I'm excited. I was able to put in some work on that one, and I haven't, I think I've done it at all this year. I haven't touched this one until now. So, you know, being in categories or games like that, it's worth it to me, so that this way I can touch my patterns and get some things done. So the next one is, let's see. Oh, back to the Anne of Green Gables monochromatic piece. I think Laura from Stitching by the Shore, she purchased that. I'm not sure when she's going to start it, but hopefully she will get that started and we can both maybe stitch on it. So Laura, if you're watching, I know you're doing a lot of stitch along, so come join me. Let's do this one together. So my next one is for categories, and this was for the letter Y again for the month of July, and it was your favorite thing. And I don't know if y'all have ever tried to find things in your patterns that begin with the letter Y for certain themes, but it is challenging. But in this one, it's called The Christmas Shop, and it's by Charting Creations. And if you look right there, there is a yo-yo on that counter. So that is what I use this pattern for. I love stitching on this one. There's a lot of detail in this one as well. So I was able to put in some good stitches on here. So this was one of my earlier pieces. I don't remember when I started it, but it was back in the very beginning of when I came back to cross stitching. And I did say that I was going to try to create a spreadsheet for myself and go back and try to find from the dates of the pictures, because when I do my pictures, I go ahead and I put, obviously they have the date from when you took them, and I have them, all of my patterns mostly in different albums in my phone. So according to this, I was keeping track of stitches. It looks like I started October 20th, 2018. So yeah, it's been a minute. So that's, wow, 6 years. Wow. All right. Okay, so then the Stitching Book Club, she is doing a pattern on the book Emma. She makes patterns for various literature pieces, and this time it's for the book Emma, and this is the second installation of those. So this is what this is looking like right now. I have not started this yet. According to the colors that are on here, I'm gonna do it on black fabric, but I have not started it yet. So she also goes by Sapphire Mountain. So if you want to take a look at any of her projects that or patterns that she's created, they read the book at the same time. And so that's always nice to be able to read the book as you're stitching the pattern. So she has The Secret Garden, Emma, Anne of Green Gables, Christmas Carol, and those are the only ones I remember off the top of my head. But take a look at her. She is on Etsy, and like I said, it's called Stitching Book Club. You can find her on Instagram under that name as well. Then I went into my local stitching shop, Country Covered, and I went in to see Beverly to ask her if she could cut me a piece of fabric for a piece I'll show you in just a second. But of course, you know, I couldn't leave there without looking at some other patterns, and so I am a lover of sunflowers, and it just so happened that this sunflower pattern, it's an August word swap. I haven't kept up with all the patterns from Stitching with the Housewives. I have a ton of them, but I haven't kept up with them recently. But this one is sunflowers, so of course I had to get this because because why not? Need a reason to buy anything, do we? And it's going to be a little one. This is on 18 count, so this is as big as it is, so it should be a fairly easy stitch. And so I had originally gone in to see Beverly to get a piece of fabric cut for this pattern here because I'm in love with this and I can't wait to get it stitched and get it framed because I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And I saw this on somebody else's, it was on Coverage Fanatics, I think, or Charting Creations page, where they completed it and had it framed and everything, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And Charting Creations, it's called Be Still My Soul. And I started this one, I'll look it up. And this was, I started this one because, again, categories, letter Y, related to humans, and I chose Yahweh. So, getting creative with stuff here. See, it should be on the page. Started it July 21st of this year. So, this is as far as I was able to get on that. And this is on a piece of, it's 18 count, but it's like antique white, I think they call it. It doesn't really matter. They're full coverage, so it doesn't matter what color I do them on. So I just ask her whatever color she's got on hand at the time, and I really wanted to start it that day, so it could have been on black for all I care. I just wanted to start it. So. But I'm excited to do that one. I think that one's going to be a gorgeous one piece, framed. And then on July 27th, just because I spun the wheel and it said to start a new mini. So this one I found and said, hey, you haven't started this one. It's called The Bookshelf by Little House Needleworks. And obviously this one was purchased because I'm a lover of books. And this is on a piece, an 18 count piece of, I think it's Country Mocha is what it's called. It's where it has the modeling on one side and then it's plain on the other. Sorry, my thread. Okay. I wanted to make sure that this gold that it calls for, that I kept it here. This is by, I think it's called Artiste brand or whatever. Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, this is a pain in the neck to work with. Um, yeah, don't like it. I do like the results, however, on my project. I know you probably can't see that, but there is the gold that's in there. Those are the first 4 books that are there. So I'm excited. I love how that has started already. And that's about 350 stitches right there. I didn't think it was that much in those 4 little books, but it'll surprise you how many stitches and how dense the stitching is when you start working on some stuff. So again, started that one July 27th because I spun the wheel, and why not? Then I worked on my other focus piece, and this is Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. This is by the Cross Stitch Studio. And this one I'm supposed to do 176 stitches on. Can't get it to stand up today. 176 stitches on per day to have it completed by the end of the year. I'm still in February, if that gives you any indication. However, I did put it into Pattern Keeper, all of the stuff that I have completed. Since you've last seen it, I put in 634 stitches, but right now it's at 70.25%. And I just completed page 25. So there's 25 full pages done on this out of 36. So see. So I finished over here at the bottom. The little boy's pajamas, and I think I might go across. I might go all the way down. I don't know. Again, depends on what I feel like when I take it out to stitch on it. So we shall see. But 70% I think is pretty good. I didn't realize I had done so much on it. I left it off like 66%, I think, or something like that. So that is all my stitching that I was able to get done, which I think was a pretty good amount since again working about 77 hours a week, so having some time to stitch was pretty good. So if I'm working from my home office and somebody cancels or what have you, then I can run out there and do my cross stitching. And I had some nights that I got off earlier, so I was able to do some, and I think I had a day or two in there where I was actually off on the weekend, or off a good chunk of the weekend day, so I could do some stitching. So this haul that I received, this piece, I think everybody should already have their fabric. This was fabric of the month, July 2024, and it's Be Stitch Me, and it's 18 count Ada, and I apologize for the crinkle of the bag. I normally have it out. But this is called Coconut Shell. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on there, but I am pretty sure I will find all kinds of stuff. I'm excited to work with that. And then I am part of the pattern of the month for Shannon Christine Design, and for the regular monthly patterns, the new one she put out was Holly Ginger. Got this cute little gingerbread. She's got some other ones. I'm trying desperately to stay off of the site because I will just purchase all the things. I have a bad habit of purchasing patterns and stuff when I'm tired and scrolling, and you just hit the button. So I try to stay off of that. This next one is from also the pattern of the month, Shannon Christine Design, and this is called Bewitching Pumpkin. She puts a Halloween one out every month for the people who are subscribers to her. So this one was this one for July. And then I'm also in her pattern for uh, the mugs that I'm stitching. Well, I will be stitching. And this one, the mug that came out, the Christmas Mug Club, is the gingerbread house mug. And again, these are only in her monthly subscriptions, but she's got a ton of projects, a ton of patterns that are absolutely gorgeous um, to go stitch on. So, by all means, let me enable you to go to see her and order. And this one, I am also a subscriber to the monthly club for the Cross Stitch Studio. Now, there were a couple other ones that they did put out. I didn't print them off because I'm not going to stitch those, but this one is with sunflowers and it's called Sunshine and Denim. And so I printed this one off. I think they just put out like 4 new patterns or so. And then Artisy Design, I know, had put out some brand new patterns as well. It's like everybody's putting out patterns. So, yeah. And that's all that came in, all that I purchased, all that I've stitched. Yeah, all of that. So, if you go on my Instagram, if I haven't already loaded pictures, I'll put some pictures of the puppies up there so y'all can see. They were supposed to be called Luke and Lorelai, like from the Gilmore Girls, because one's a boy, one's a girl. But my husband decided that he wanted to name the boy Maverick, so we have Maverick and Lorelai. So it's been challenging having 2 puppies. I don't think I've ever owned 2 puppies at one time. And they are not like my first golden. They're not bad. They're not bad puppies at all. It's just trying to take both of them out at the same time. They want to play and not do what they're supposed to do. And, they're just being puppies. But they're very smart, very loving, just sweet, gentle little puppies. I know they can chew and all this stuff, but they're just very loving. Um, yeah, golden retrievers seem to be my favorite dog now. So, and it has been for a while. I owned a golden before my oldest one here, but it was a golden mixed with a standard collie, and he was amazing. So I really, that's what prompted me to get my first golden after he had passed away. So I have a 3-year-old golden named Tucker, and then I have Lorelai and Maverick. They were born May 23rd, so they're like, what, 11 weeks old or so, somewhere around there. So, but they're doing really well, very healthy. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm getting settled into my new position, um, new swing of things, new groove that's going on. We're also trying to do a couple different improvements on our house and stuff like that. So those things are going on as little by little as we can get them done. So I hope to be back in about 2 weeks to see you all again and hopefully have more stitching for you. And I hope everyone's doing well. I know that that storm is hitting Florida right now. And I pray that everyone who is in that path is safe and that there's no damage to your homes or your livelihood. We did have a tornado that touched down here this past Monday. I was at my other job, and we had 80-mile-an-hour winds there, and it touched rather close to where my other position is. And it was scary. It was quite scary for, a short period of time. And then as we were trying to travel home, we could see all of the destruction from the 80-mile-an-hour winds. It was all leaning one direction, so you could tell how it came through. We had lightning hit the pole out front of my house. We had the line down, for I think it was the internet line, but the chief of the fire department lives by me, and he was out there trying to keep the line up, keep everybody from being in danger of going through that. Was having a real hard time trying to get people to get out to get the line back up. Um, yeah, there was a lot of trees down trying to come. We couldn't get through one of the roads we normally come through because there were trees down, like really big trees. And so it was different trying to get home on Monday. And I think Monday, because we didn't have the internet or what have you, that's when I got some stitching done because I couldn't do any work. Darn, I'm glad everybody was safe and no damage would happen, but I will take my stitchy time when I can get it. So I'm going to continue to work on my focus pieces, and then whatever. Um, I know this category letter for this month is I, so I'm not sure what I can have that would fill those prompts, but I will try to see. I enjoy doing this categories. Laura from Stitching by the Shore is also in that Facebook group. It's called Whip Warriors, and they have something called, I can't think of the name of it. I can't think of the exact name of it, but anyway, the way it works, from my knowledge, is like if you have a prompt and you find a pattern that works with that, and then you take something from that pattern and you start the next pattern, so they'll relate in some way, and then from that pattern to the next one. I think it's like called rip off or something like that. I don't know exactly. Um, but that sounds like a lot of fun, that I would want to do that, because that could definitely get me working on some of my other projects that I haven't pulled out. But uh, maybe I'll go ahead and get that, uh, some of those whip parades started and filmed. If that's what you all would like to see, I'll do them for this year. I'm not sure exactly, honestly, how many projects I have going. I'm trying to keep a total of them, to my original total. So I may miss one here or there, but I think I've got a pretty good notebook full of them, so that I know where they're at. So I don't know exactly the number right now, but I will work on that and see. I'd like to get a spreadsheet done, like I said earlier, of my projects from oldest to most current, but sitting down and just taking the time to put all of that data into a spreadsheet is gonna, it's going to take some time. So I'm trying to figure out the easiest way for me to do that when I am so time limited. But I would love to see it. I'm just nerdy like that, but I would love to see that, so I know how many I have, when I started, when I finished, how many I finished for the year, how many I started in 2024, etc. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts of what I'd like to do. So I will be back hopefully in 2 weeks. I hope you all have some good time stitching. Again, I hope no one gets any damage, or damage is very limited from those storms, that hurricane that's coming through. And I will be back to see you. Remember to take care of you. Self care is important, and make sure you get your stitching in too. I'll talk to y'all then. Take care.